I am back again with Dr. Nicole Conkle, who's an organizational design and development expert.
Sure. Yeah. Hi, Lee.
And,
Great to be here again.
Glad to have you on. I've asked Nicole to provide some insight to people out there in my network, as well as hers, that are looking for a job in terms of what they should be doing before they apply to the position to make sure they're well prepared and they get off on the right foot and that it's a good fit.
Sure. So, Lee, I think it's really important for you as a job seeker to interview and research the company that you're applying for or applying to just as much as they're going to do for you or to you. And so that means looking at social websites, which will give you employee reviews. And listen, not every review, most people don't go to reviews to write good things. So we have to look at that and say, who is giving this review? But look for patterns. Yeah. Look for employees saying the same things over and over again that may not be any part of a culture that you would want to be in. Look for trends. Look for Better Business Bureau scores. Look for information on their current employees and look them up. Look up their leadership teams.
Now I understand, at least from reading, that one of the most important determinants of someone's happiness in a role is the relationship with their supervisor.
For sure.
So would you recommend trying to find out who's hiring for the role you're applying for?
Absolutely. You should definitely know who your potential supervisor is going to be. You should know if it's a replacement position, why the last person left. You should ask these questions to every person that you interview with. Because what I can guarantee you is in job searches that I do, I'm interviewing with multiple executives and companies, and every one of them is going to give you a somewhat different answer. While it may get you to the same place, it's going to be a different answer, and it's going to give you a lot of insight.
Well, I know too, there's premium subscriptions you can sign up for, like on LinkedIn, that will give you more options where you can do searching, and it might be helpful for you to know who's working at Acme Corp. And
sure.
If you pay a little bit more, you can see the employees, you can tell who's a second degree connection, a third degree
sure.
connection. And if you happen to know someone in common,
right.
that's a big one up, especially if you reach out to them before.
Yes.
And you can get either intel on the person or the people working there. That can really bolster your chances, I'd think.
Right. Definitely a connection is going to be a really good step in getting you in the door for an interview versus just send your resume like the other 499 people and hope that someone sees it. Most of the time they don't get past the first 30. So I definitely feel like I don't necessarily think you have to pay for additional services. I think a lot of that is out there for us to see for free, but definitely some benefits if you have the means to do so, to get that additional information.
Well, one of the things that people might not know about is if you paid for the premium membership and you've already applied for a job at Acme Corp, you can see who's clicking on your profile.
Yes.
And then you can tell who's likely going to interview you. So
right.
without them even having disclosed who's going to interview you,
right.
you might be able to find out their interests, what
right.
shows they like.
Yes.
There's a website called PQ that you can dig. You might be able to get details on their social media.
Right.
And the more homework you do, it always impresses people. You just don't want to creep them out too much.
Right.
But it's okay to say that, I looked online and I'm interested in your company. I understand you do this and that.
Right.
And the more you understand a person, probably the better that interview will go.
Absolutely. I think it's very important for you to have details on those individuals. And I think people are really like, oh, wow, you looked me up. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, I saw on Facebook that you and your 3 kids went on vacation last week. But I would keep it to the more professional accomplishments. If they have any reviews on LinkedIn that people have written for them, bring those things up because that only helps you.
Yeah. And I recommend, too, that everyone consider making their own branded blog, like Dr. Nicole, or I've got LeeNewbecker.com, because from time to time you move from company to company, or you might sell a firm like I sold my firm, and someone wants to connect with you. So
Exactly.
when that happens, you have to be accessible.
Right.
And sometimes you lose control over your old workplace email, which raises another important point. Do not use your company email on your LinkedIn account.
Please
Because
don't.
you might find yourself suddenly severed from your job, and you'll lose all your connections.
Right. You, in yours, any social media that is yours, you should be using your own information, not your company.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I think we've got a like on our LinkedIn. Well, thanks a bunch for being on the show.
Thank
This
you
was
for
great.
having me, Lee.
Thank you.